Hey, what's up? This is Hunter Nelson with Tortoise and Hare Software, and today we're going to be talking about how to estimate pay-per-click campaign ROI with our PPC calculator.
Calling all PPC advertisers. Discover a treasure trove of free guides and software to elevate your pay-per-click game. Click the links in the video description below to unlock expert resources for boosting click-through rates, optimizing ad spend, and more. Click now and revolutionize your PPC campaigns.
So I'm going to switch over here to the screen capture, to the pay-per-click calculator, and we'll take a look at that. I'll link the page here to the PPC ROI calculator in the video description below, but if you're on the Tortoise and Hare Software website, you can come to Resources, Offers, and find the PPC calculator and click on that. Okay, so on the PPC calculator here, there's a few kind of values. The first one is the estimated customer lifetime value. So when thinking about running a pay-per-click campaign, you definitely want to have an understanding of what kind of like your average customer's lifetime value is. So let's say they have like a $1,500 a month sort of customer and they stay with you for 2 years. That's a $36,000 kind of total lifetime value. So let's just put a 36,000 kind of lifetime value in. And this is actually kind of a realistic number for like an MSP or like a local IT company. And then, so kind of our second number here is like the estimated conversion rate on landing page. So this one's kind of difficult to forecast because new advertisers usually kind of struggle a little bit, and it takes a little bit of time optimizing the landing page, running kind of like screen capture tests, but like in general I would say like a 3% number is like a decent sort of baseline to use as like something to start with. If you're doing like a softer conversion, like a content download for like in exchange for an email address, your conversion rate can go up. If you're asking for phone calls or contact form fills, then that's going to be a little bit of a harder sell, and that's usually where it comes down to more of like a 3% roughly conversion rate. As advertisers get better at refining their campaigns and their landing pages and all sorts of stuff, like these conversion rates can kind of go up from there, but in the 3% range is a good kind of starting baseline. So we'll go with a 3% baseline there. And let's just say here that you're converting 10% of your leads. So you have 10 leads come in, 5 of those are just not a good fit, 4 or 5 of them aren't ready to buy, find a tire kicker, stuff like that. So let's just say, you get a 10% estimated lead to close rate. This can also go up to 30%, maybe 50%. Of course, you'll see like, people that say they close 90% of their leads, which may be true, but there's usually other variables that go into that. If you're only getting referrals, then yeah, you might close higher than that. But like as far as generating cold traffic off of the internet, then you definitely want to be more conservative in your estimate. So I would say 10 to 30% in the estimated lead to close rate is a good baseline. And let's just say you're spending $2,500 a month on Google ads or LinkedIn ads, something like that. You can use like a tool called like the Google Keyword Planner to get an estimated average cost per click. Like I know a lot of clicks in the Jacksonville area for both like marketing services and IT services and just a lot of professional services in general go in the $15 average cost per click range. This average cost per click can vary pretty wildly by market. So you definitely need to do a little bit of homework with a tool like Google Keyword Planner to get an estimate on what you think CPCs are going to be. These might be different per platform. A lot of the kind of people that start advertising, I recommend to start with Google, because Google is very intent based, so I'm kind of basing that average CPC on Google cost. LinkedIn cost might be lower cost per click, but you also might get a slightly lower conversion rate on social. So we've put some data in for kind of our sample simulation, and I'll click on this estimate PPC ROI here, and this gives us an estimate. We'll acquire approximately 1/2 customer per month, and that will result in $18,000 in revenue and 7.2 return on ad spend. So you can kind of like tweak the numbers and run some simulations on what your potential ROI and inputs might be on your campaigns. So let's say we bumped up the monthly spend to $5,000 a month. That would get us an estimate of one full customer per month, and estimated revenue $36,000, and 7.2 return on ad spend. If you bump your lead to close rate up to 20% and kind of estimate it, then you bring on 2 customers a month, you make more money, higher return on ad spend. But let's say your conversion rate's 1.5 on the landing page. Okay, I guess this has to be whole numbers, so let's say it's a 2% conversion rate. And then you just kind of can see how the various variables within the math that goes behind a pay-per-click campaign can kind of influence what you're doing. But this is something that definitely gives you like a baseline for what to expect when kind of launching a pay-per-click campaign, and how your customer lifetime value, your close rates, conversion rates, spend, cost per click, things like that can like influence the success or failure of your campaigns. And I kind of have some information here on the page about each of these various metrics. And then, this is kind of an interesting consideration too. So I did some numbers here in a simulation that I kind of plugged into an Excel spreadsheet based on a $5,000 a month PPC campaign, $1,500 a month over a 2-year period for a total of 36,000 customer lifetime value, and basically kind of forecasted out the revenue earned based with the expense. So let's just say that they're advertising over a 2-year period, but then these customers pay $1,500 a month for kind of a forward looking time period. So the customers acquired will actually take full years to fully realize all the revenue earned from the campaign. So it kind of shows you like as you're onboarding new customers, your revenue goes up over that time. They pull the plug on their PPC campaign in year 2, and that starts to go down. If they didn't pull the plug, it would just continue to grow over time. But just you can kind of see that like this is roughly a visualization of the front-loaded cash flow and growth of revenue over time, for how kind of all that flows. Couple of interesting notes based on this like cash flow analysis. The monthly revenue exceeds the monthly spend by month 4. Total revenue generated exceeds the total PPC investment by month 6. Total estimated revenue generated is around $864,000 for this campaign, and the total PPC investment was $120,000 with a 7.2 return on ad spend. So just kind of illustrates that, like, you know, PPC is a very viable and effective way to acquire customers. It does take investment. That investment is front loaded, and you know, you just have to plan for kind of like your cash flow when you're launching a PPC campaigns, because it is, you know, upfront investment with a deferred return, but, you know, can be very profitable and be a, you know, really solid tool in the tool belt to acquire new customers for your brand. So yeah, that's kind of a summary of the PPC ROI calculator and how you can use that to estimate the potential leads for your company. So hope you like this video. If you do, definitely subscribe to us here on YouTube. We create all sorts of informative content to help you grow your brand and increase the confidence in making marketing investments for your technology company. So again, thanks for watching. My name is Hunter Nelson with Tortoise and Hare Software, and I'll see you next time.
Ready to dominate the world of pay-per-click PPC advertising? Unlock a goldmine of free guides and software. Click the links in the video description below to access invaluable resources for optimizing your PPC campaigns. Don't miss out. Click now and skyrocket your advertising success.